I often feel unsatisfied when making these kinds of videos, not because I feel guilty or anything, but because my niche as a lookism-related channel means that I say pretty much the same thing over and over again. There are only so many variations of saying, oh, everything's based off of looks, or oh, we live in a society, that you can see until it gets boring. It's like watching a bunch of videos on gravity just to confirm to yourself that physics exist. The problem is that there's nothing really new or interesting anymore with regards to the BP. We already know what features make a man attracted to women, but we also understand that looks are key to everything. However, what if what you make is both repetitive and blatantly wrong? That's exactly the case with the subject of today's video, Kira Lotan. And basically, what she does is just yap at the camera for 20 minutes. Normally, I don't mind channels that do this type of stuff, but there's just something so conceited and snarky about Kira that I just cannot stand. But hey, maybe it's just me. But take a look at this video and let me know.
I like the idea of school. It gives you routine. Ever since you started the first day of kindergarten, that's when you started implementing these routines. School is good for finding a sense of purpose, finding direction, and it also builds community. You find friends, you feel like you're part of something. So I like the idea of it. I like the idea of going to school and feeling like there's a sense of direction, feeling like you know what you're doing, you're going and getting it. It's like your job before you get a job, right? That's school. That's what's embedded in your brain. But when you graduate high school, why does a person go to college?
To get a degree?
And you're just trying to figure it out. What do you do? What's the next step? If you don't know what you want to do, if you don't know what college you even want to apply for, go to a community college because it keeps the brain functioning. It keeps the brain flowing. If you just don't go anywhere straight out of high school, you're going to leave yourself a little more confused.
This is terrible advice. Don't immediately enroll in a community college and spend time and money just because you don't know what you want to do with your life.
I say this because the first day of kindergarten, you are starting this routine of going to school. K through 12. Almost 18 years of your life, you are going to school. So you need to cater into that routine for yourself.
Wait, this ain't adding up. I'm pretty sure when you start kindergarten, you're like, 5 or 6 years old? At least that's how it works in the United States, where I assume Kira's from. When you graduate at, let's say, 17 or 18 years old, that means that you were in school for, 13 years. So where is she getting 18 years of K to 12 from? Then again, maybe she had to repeat 5th grade a few times over.
Figure it out, put yourself in situations to figure it out. But after community college, I went there for a year. I did 2 semesters, so I did fall and spring. After spring, I actually wanted to apply to a private university.
I'm not sure if I'm going to include every clip where she says the phrase private university, but just for reference, there's quite a lot of times where she says that. Hey, just a quick drinking game for my boys over 21. Take a shot every time she says private university. She's acting like going to a private university automatically makes it good. Just because it's a private school doesn't mean anything. All that a private university denotes is that it doesn't get publicly funded through the government. For instance, UCLA and UC Berkeley are both public universities and are ranked far higher than most private universities in the United States.
I was really, really interested in human psychology. That's a given, right? Like, who isn't interested in psychology? Like, let's be real here. Whenever you're talking about psychology, everyone is listening. Everyone kind of likes that type of.
See, here's the thing. Kira suffers from a solipsistic worldview. She has this grand notion that just because she finds psychology interesting, that means everyone else does too. That's simply not the case. My best friend Ned took AP Psych in high school and he fucking hated it. My roommate Jake took it too and he also hated it.
This university is not very known for psychology. This university that I got accepted to was a business university. So in my head, I'm just like, well, I might as well major in psych and then minor in business, like business administration or management, whatever, just pick a business minor. So I had the funny thing is I only had 1 psych class and everything else was business classes as a psych major.
I'm not one to shame other people's majors, but business and psychology aren't exactly the hardest majors in the world.
Long story short, we're a whole year into this university, and the pandemic hit, right? Pandemic 2020 that it hit? Yeah, spring 2020. 2019, I was in college. I was in a university studying, going to college. I was in the classroom studying. 2020, spring, COVID, pandemic, the spring break happens, right? Spring break, this is a global thing, or at least nationwide because it's spring break, but all colleges and universities shut down during spring break. And then we went into, learning online mode. We were all learning online and we were doing what we had to do, doing our homeworks, finishing up the semester, finishing the year. After that year, I dropped out. I said, I'm done. Like, what? I'm done. The experience of going to college was worth it. It was everything because I went to the classroom. I actually went to the college to learn. I was in state, so it wasn't expensive. It's expensive, but it wasn't as expensive.
First of all, I'm pretty sure private schools don't have in-state tuition rates. Like, I'm 99% sure it's the same regardless of whether you live 5 minutes away or 5,000 miles away. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a huge difference in terms of the tuition.
But yeah, I had the experience. I had the college experience.
And as for the college experience, she means basically getting worshipped everywhere she goes. I see this all the time. There's always some girl in my class who puts in damn near zero effort, never shows up to class, and still gets everything spoon-fed to her by the professors. And this isn't including all the male students who basically do their homework for them.
I looked into all the classes that I was interested in, business, psychology, and I told myself, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what direction I'm going in. I like psychology, but is there a future in psychology for me? Is there anything that I can do with that degree that I actually enjoy?
Wait, so you literally got a degree in something you don't even want to use? Why would you do all that work then?
You have to learn the things you like and the things that you would actually enjoy doing for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't say those two things are mutually exclusive at all, Kira. For instance, I like not watching your videos, and I would enjoy not watching another video from you for the rest of my life.
And also having these business classes, I learned a lot about marketing, advertising, business administration, all of those types of business, vocabulary type, whatever. I learned all of that while I was in freaking college. And so while I'm doing very well in those classes, I'm excelling in my business classes, I'm just telling myself, you know what? I could just start a business. Oh my God. I can just start a business. I can be an entrepreneur.
What is this guy saying?
I will be an entrepreneur. That's what I told myself. When I quit college, when I dropped out of college, because I didn't drop out of community college. I dropped out of a private university that I got accepted to.
She really thinks that those 10 business credit hours she got automatically qualifies her to be some Wall Street broker. Like, what are you on about? First of all, she probably took only intro to business classes in that first year. I'm not a business major, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't learn that much. Like, aren't most business majors still learning double-digit addition in those classes? I mean, jokes aside, a business major can get you in pretty far places if you know where to look. But I can assure you Kira does not know where to look. Otherwise, she wouldn't have to resort to making videos on YouTube.
Is that worth more than the business? Having a business, you don't need a degree to have a business. You need a degree to go be a doctor. You need a degree to go... I just think having a degree is not the clear-cut path. It's not, because if you don't know exactly what you're doing, if you don't know exactly what you're doing it for, it's not worth it because you're just going to be in debt. You're going to be in debt. Is debt worth it? Because then you got to pay it off.
You need to pay off debt? Wow, that's so insightful. Did you learn that from all the business classes you took?
Debt can be useful, but college debt? Come on.
What? When is debt ever a good thing? I get what she's trying to say. For instance, if you need a loan to buy a car or a house, then yeah, you'd probably be in debt. But the actual debt is not good. And that same logic still applies to college debt, so I don't know why she's still singling that out. I cannot believe people actually watch this shit. What are the words coming out of her mouth? This sounds like a literal South Park episode.
You don't tell yourself you're going to college just to go to college.
But isn't that exactly what you did? So I kind of get the impression that this entire video is supposed to be her learning experience and how she transformed her life from this whole failed college experience. But truthfully, it seems like she learned nothing.
Right now, I am using human psychology to even talk on camera. I am building a business in front of me.
Bro, she actually thinks her psychology degree is helping her make videos. She's acting like what she's saying is some crazy profound wisdom, when in reality it's just a bunch of incoherent rambling stitched together in some video. Oh my god. That was just one video, and I think I ruptured an artery in my brain from the sheer stupidity. Like, Kira, what are you smoking? Okay, not off to a great start, but hey, maybe this video will be better.
I've always been told that first impressions are everything. Your introduction to meeting someone new is what you're representing. The quiet person is never remembered. If you are just, hi, my name is... First impressions is everything. I'm telling you guys, everything. And that's why there's books, movies, anything that has an introduction, they focus on the introduction. And it's almost like you expect something in return when you're giving nothing. Why expect something out of someone when you give nothing? Give some value. Make a joke or two. Put your personality into the introduction.
Okay, so I agree with her here. Not that personality stuff, but the fact that people only hang out with you if you have something to offer. Human relationships are incredibly transactional. In fact, I believe that the best relationships, whether it be friendships, family relationships, or even romantic relationships, are the ones where you sometimes think to yourself, wait, why am I with this person again? Because it shows that you aren't there for a reason. You've simply grown accustomed to them, and that can be a very priceless thing in and of itself. Of course, those relationships are like finding a needle in a haystack, and they're typically formed only as a child. One last video from Kira. Maybe the third time's the charm.
I know what I'm capable of. And sometimes when you are around insecure people that don't even know what it took for you to get to this confidence, it's really hard to really have that confidence because you're surrounded by people that don't have it. So you tell yourself that you should just be humble instead. You should be humble. The only time and place that you should be humble is around people that are obviously doing better than you.
So basically, according to Kira, the only people you should be humble towards are people who are better than you. If you have more experience or are more skilled at something compared to somebody else, you should remind them that you are better than them at every possible opportunity. And sadly, a lot of people do think this way. It's just that Kira's admitting to it. I can't. I was gonna watch another, but I really can't. I think getting hit in the head with a hammer would actually do less brain damage than Kira's videos. Kira should low-key go back to making videos targeted towards parroting red-pilled lines at lonely guys. Those videos had far more views than the slop she's putting out. I feel like Kira's the human personification of the Dunning-Kruger effect at times, thinking that she's far more versed than she really is. And you might be saying to yourself,
but Dre, who cares? It's just some girl on the internet giving her opinions.
And you are correct. But I find that Kira's way of thinking is quite dangerous. Sure, when it's small things like advice on how to socialize, it's no biggie. But the minute someone with the same mindset somehow ends up in a position of power, things can go south real fast. People like Kira always overestimate themselves, acting like there's some special gift from God or something. Kira says that she struggled in her life, like in her college video, when she was under so much pain by going online for a semester during COVID. But you can tell that she was never really challenged all that much in life. As a child, I had all undivided attention on me. I definitely got used to my parents going out of their way to accommodate me. However, once I got to school, I got humbled real fast. Life and the BP hit me brutally. Most people were just better than me, it seemed. And when I wasn't getting made fun of by the other kids, I was getting rejected by the girls in my class. I realized very early on that I had very little social value. To this day, I still don't have much value to other people, but I try to control what I can and not dwell too much on it. Even with everyone's favorite black pill channel, the Crooked Lady, at least what she says is mostly true. Do I think she's very much alone voluntarily? Yeah, I do. But for the most part, I definitely agree that her experiences in life line up with my own. And the Crooked Lady doesn't come off as incredibly narcissistic either. Also, at least her channel has some absolute gold in the comments section. The complete lack of social awareness from you guys just makes me laugh so hard. I think the problem with Kira's videos is that she falsely gives advice while purely using her own anecdotes as a one-size-fits-all solution. I know I do that too, but I try to at least gather some other perspectives when making videos. And while we're on the subject, I couldn't quite place my finger on who Kira reminded me of. She just seemed oddly familiar. But the more I thought about it while making this video, I realized she reminded me a lot of Sierra, the girl that got me fired from my other job. And someone asked me where the video about me working that subhuman job or the story about that girl at the library went. And I don't take down content unless it's usually for good reason. Not to worry, those videos aren't gone forever. I was planning on re-editing them and re-uploading them as either standalone videos with better quality or embedding them within another video. If you know me, you know that I don't really like storytime videos all that much. There are videos of mine that are 99% completed, just sitting there! Because I feel like there's nothing of value for me solely using personal anecdotes. Like even with Black Pill storytime videos, they're always the same thing. Oh, I said hi to a girl once, but because of my bad looks, the girl did something wild, something crazy. Like she pulled out a rocket launcher and blew me up just because I said hi to her. They always start and end the same. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.
This is a certified PSL classic.